Welcome to the Voice Coach Podcast, here for all your speaking voice training and guidance. My name is Nic Redman, and I am offering you all sorts of nuggets of wisdom on how to keep your voice in good working order and a true representation of who you are. So if you're a podcaster, presenter, actor, speaker, or voiceover artist, or a general voice geek, you're in good hands. Shall we get started? Hello again. Thanks for popping by. This episode is called How a Voice Warm-Up Can Save You Time because, and you might need to admit if you're in this category, safe space, one of the objections I come up against when trying to encourage people to do regular warm-ups before they speak and record is, but I don't have the time, miss. Well, poppycock, I say. That's a peculiar English term that sort of means nonsense or BS. Because basically, if you've listened to any of the other episodes of this podcast, you'll know that a warm-up doesn't need to be long. 5 to 15 minutes is all you need to start with. But also, a warm-up can literally save you time. So that's what I'm going to outline in this episode. How a warm-up can save you time. Here we go. Time-saving tip number 1. If you warm up your voice before you record, you will reduce your editing time. You will, because you'll feck up your words less. That's right, less feckery. You'll have less editing to do because you'll have less tongue-tied moments. You'll trip up over your words less. You'll make less mistakes. Now, I'm sorry, but anything that reduces editing time gets a big thumbs up from me. So doing a voice warm-up equals less editing. How good is that? That's a great time-saving hack. Next in the time-saving stakes, you'll have to do less retakes because you aren't happy with your delivery. So how often have you listened back to a recording and gone, oh, God, that didn't sound like I thought it would, or I'm not expressive enough, or, oh, I thought I'd sound more excited or more inspiring or more interesting or stuff like that. Well, if you warm up well, you're basically showing your wonderful voice all the expressive range it has to play with. So you're showing it the pitches you can reach, the highs, the lows. You're showing it the tonal changes you can use, the brightness, the warmth, the twanginess, the depth, all that kind of stuff. You're showing it the colour, the range, the emotions you have in there. You're showing it where it can go. Like, that's what a warm-up is for. It's opening up your vocal potential. And if you do that before you start recording, then your voice will be able to go wherever the feck you need it to go in order to be expressive. So you won't be listening back going, oh God, that doesn't sound right. I don't sound as, insert adjective here, as I thought I would. So less retakes, which means saving time. Isn't this remarkable? Finally, and maybe most importantly, a vocal warm-up can encompass all the other morning routines you have. Now, this is really exciting. Let me explain. A voice warm-up is completely holistic, so it has to include your mind, your body, your breath, and the voice itself, the sound you can make. So you can use, no, I don't know if you're into any of this stuff, but, whether you do some meditation, whether you do some physical practice like yoga or stretching, whether you use therapeutic breath work, all that stuff that people tend to do in the morning for their mental health and for their general happiness in life can be part of your voice warm-up. So, do you do a wee bit of yoga, for example? Great. You need to release your body to prep your voice. So, that's that bit done. The body is done. And heck, if you add in a few hums on the breathing, Bob's your warmed-up voice. What about meditating? Do you do a bit of meditation in the morning or some wonky version of meditation if you're me, because I always get distracted by what I'm going to cook for my tea. But look, if you do some meditation, use that time to do a little body scan to notice tension in the body and encourage physical release, which is really important for vocal freedom. And actually, if you do struggle with focusing when you meditate, having a bit of a purpose behind it instead of trying to aim for that, Buddha levels of clear brain is actually really useful. So you can use your meditation time to check in for tensions, check in on the breath, check in on your mind and your sense of presence for the day, and that will really benefit your warm-up. And then breath work, right? If you're doing a bit of breath work, which is really hot right now, like therapeutic breath training or breath for mental health or anxiety, great. Your breath needs attention in a warm-up too. So you can use that to notice maybe any holding patterns in the breath and get the breath moving and energized and ready to go. So a warm-up can include, and should actually include, all these holistic practices that are part of your morning routine anyway, that you might be using for mental health maintenance or managing anxiety or your general ability to get through the day considering how messed up the world is. Look, it's a win-win. Basically, you're doing a 3-for-1. Body, mind, breath can all be in your warm-up, hence saving you time. So there you go. A voice warm-up will save you time. I mean, never come to me with the "but I don't have time" excuse again. Thank you very much. Plus, it's really good fun, which I'll always come back to as a benefit because I don't really want to do anything unless it's a bit of crack. Right, speaking of crack, I'm off for my tea. Remember to join my mailing list, The Fold, for lots of lovely tips and articles and insights into the voice, vocal health and recording and general shenanigans from me. You can do that by heading to nicolaredman.com/newsletter or click the link in the show notes. There'll be one down there. But that's it. That was a remarkably short episode today, which I think is very in keeping with the fact that a warm-up is saving you time. You're welcome. Off you pop. Happy voicing. Thanks for listening to the Voice Coach podcast. For even more support with your speaking voice, head on over to our free community, the Voice and Accent Hub on Facebook. See you in there.